and girls. So we talk about gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes are assumptions about how men and women ought to behave in society, how women ought to think. It's an assumption, it's assumed. Women are passive, men are active, women are mediocre, women are irrational, men are rational. So these are assumptions. But we know that things are not always like this. You can get competent women, you can get competent men. But it's more often than not in society that if somebody is driving a car, for instance, somebody at the front is not driving well, when you get there, you wonder, is he doing the man? Which means in the mind of the speaker, women ought to drive badly. No wonder, a woman said. So gender issues and women issues. Gender issue is a gender issue is an issue because it affects men and women negatively. So when something is a gender issue, it means that this thing may be affecting men and women in a negative way. So we therefore need to look at it critically. So it's not a woman issue, it's not a man issue, but it could. So at what place, what they look at certain things happening, this is a gender issue. I'm going to give you more examples as we proceed. But when we say something is a woman issue, it means about women. For instance, breast cancer, okay, is a woman issue. So now we are going having men developing this kind of illness. Pregnancy. Some men also in the Western world are claiming that it could be pregnant. Okay? So breastfeeding. We have not seen this yet. So let's look at this. The use of toilets in a shopping mall, airports, or schools can be a gender issue. Look at it. There are two men here. We have about 4. Okay, we have 4 or 5, but there are about women. And men have 3 toilets, women have 3 toilets. This is a gender issue. If we look at this, know that we are not fair. If there are 6 toilets, you say 3 for men, 3 for women. You know the population of women seem to be more. Like when I came here, I was so shocked to see the number of women in this institute. I'm really, really surprised. This is the first time I see this kind of thing. When we have a large population of concentration of women. Very interesting. Very interesting. So somehow many of my examples actually tend to be saying that we need to encourage men, include men. I didn't know when I was putting this way, but from what I'm seeing here, we are on track. So gender equality and gender equity. Gender equality means that men and women, boys and girls enjoy the same status, the same opportunities. They have equal conditions for realizing their full rights, human rights, and potentials to contribute to national, political, economic, social, and cultural development, and to benefit equally from results. So when we talk about equality, it means that they have equal portion, equal rights, equal opportunities, 50-50. So gender equality opposes gender discrimination. But at times, equality may not be fair. Then we talk about equity. Equity implies giving everybody the opportunity to realize his and her own potential, to meet his or her needs. Giving everybody, looking at people's condition. If we had a nursing mother, for instance, or a pregnant woman that's almost getting to the time to put to bed, I would say, well, this morning everybody is supposed to do exercise. We have to run from here to here, so everybody starts running. We know that by her situation, she cannot run like everybody. But she needs exercise, so we may give her more time to get to where she's going to. So equity means fairness. If we look at what we have there, this is equity. If it's as if they are not fair to the tall man. If you look at equality, you are supposed to give everybody a suit. But this man knows it, but he's another. The other boys, because of their height, they need to get there. So what do they need to get there? That is fairness. That is equity. So we must look at the context. Look at the context, look at the situation, look at the reality of the individual or a department, and know how to balance so that everybody can meet his or her own needs. Look at this one. Sometimes we advocate for equity center rather than gender equality. See equality by the left-hand side, see equality. The other young boy there can't see anything. And he ought to see and go and report to his superior what he saw. But he does not have what it takes to see. So how can the system help him to also observe what is going on in order to report? So that is equity. That is equity at the workplace and in all situations. Even in homes. Even in homes. Because that is the bedrock. And we choose our boys and our girls. We may find situations where boys need to be encouraged more than girls. But of course, we always feel that girls are endangered species. So, but at times also, we spoil the boys. The boys don't sweep, the boys don't wash plates, the boys don't clean their rooms. He's a boy. You're going to meet another woman somewhere later in life who will serve him. He doesn't work that way anymore. And that is why many of our young boys are having issues abroad when they get married. They want to cross their legs for the girls to serve them the way they serve them at home. The girl will say, to hell with you and your marriage. Now we don't say Nigerian girls, whenever they get there, they are stupid, they are wicked, they are westernized. No, it's difficult to survive. So everybody must work together. So let us also orientate our minds in the way we bring up our children. It's very, very crucial, our boys. And we should also not discourage our girls from pursuing their ambition. In many schools, they tell the girls go to food and nutrition. Why are you carrying all the technical training? But we see that, particularly among low-income families, so there must be fairness. Gender inequality, of course, no rights, resources, and opportunities are unequally distributed among genders, men, women, boys, and girls, and individuals of other gender identities. We don't want to, of course, gender blindness. We just do things as if men and women are the same. That is gender blindness. It does not make an organization to work well. It does not enhance the capacity of every member of that particular group, because the capacity and potentialities of everybody will be harnessed if the group was supposed to move forward. So gender helps us to understand the need and the possibilities and opportunities we have when we work together as human beings, created in the image and likeness of God. I always say that no bird can fly with one wing. The two wings must work together and be able to achieve much. So we have to develop gender-friendly policies to ensure gender consideration in every decision. We must do that for a better society, for a better work environment, for a better home. Let us, as an anthropologist, I talk so much about culture, values, beliefs, and I see what we are witnessing in the society as a consequence of certain things we did not do right at home. So gender mainstreaming is the integration of gender perspective into preparation, design, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of policies, regulatory measures, and resources allocation. Look at that, resources allocation. It's very important. That is money. Resources can be human resources, not just one bit. Let's pay attention to that. With a view to promoting equality between men and women and combating discrimination. Gender mainstreaming is a strategy It's a process, it's an ongoing activity. We can't say we have finished gender mainstreaming. So gender mainstreaming is a strategy, it's an activity, it's an ongoing thing, it's a continuous thing. As people are coming into the system, some people are retiring, some people are getting transferred, we continue to mainstream. And when we do that, we promote gender equality and reduce and possibly eliminate discrimination. It requires change of attitude and relationship situations and legal framework in economic situation, political decisions, decision-making structures. Change of attitude. When we talk about culture, we say we have the observable phenomenon, the ones we can see. Then we have non-observable phenomenon. The non-observable phenomenon is the framework of thought that is in our minds. It's actually that framework of thought that determines what we do. It's in the mind of people. And we don't see it. But whatever is in the mind is actually what makes people to act the way they act. So when we have things like we have a gender mainstreaming office, it's to reframe our mind to think differently. To align our thoughts to the best practice, because we can learn culture and we can unlearn culture. So gender mainstreaming helps us to think differently in the way that can help us to further the best in the global society. What of gender mainstreaming and the workplace? When we say workplace, what are we talking about? Where we go to work, to earn money, either as an employee or even as an employer. Okay, it's a place of employment. We may look at workplace, from two layers or dimensions. I mean, if I take my work as a case, I will talk about the micro level and the macro level. The macro level is the larger space of this particular organization or institute. The micro place or space is your own department or section, wherever you work, that's the right thing. And we must take the two together, micro and micro space, that we do our job. And what we do there with gender mainstream. Employ gender mainstream as a strategy, as a process that will help us to eliminate discrimination and inequality, so that we can harness the potentials of everybody and give everybody opportunity for self-realization, so that we can have happiness in our system. It focuses on people, the beneficiary, people. The institution can also benefit when the institution is reckoned amongst committee of institutions. I know that there are other research institutes, and NIHOT will be very glad to say when it comes to other research institutes in Nigeria, NIHOT is one of the, now. We want that, because that is, I always tell people, where we work is the currency we use when we meet our colleagues. We earn salary to feed ourselves. But the currency of social interaction, when you meet people that belong to similar organizations, is the image of where you work. So those of us that work in the UN, wherever we find ourselves in the world, the currency of our interaction among academics and intellectuals is the currency, is the university. So we protect the image of the university. And the same way also protect the image of where you work. The importance of gender mainstreaming in workplace, institutional resilience and growth is strengthening the institution by promoting diverse perspective and inclusive decision making. We don't value positive penalty, negative thing happens. When your institution is balanced and you're moving on well and people are smiling and greeting, we take it for granted. So, strengthening the institution by promoting diverse perspectives and inclusive decision making, maximizing human and economic potentials, ensure proper utilization of an organization's human and economic resources through gender inclusivity, fostering gender responsive policies, leads to the development of gender and sexual harassment policies where necessary, and which is good for every organization. To say that your organization has gender policy, it means you have a framework that organizes your activity. So people, international organizations want to reckon with you. University of Ibadan, when you apply for something, somebody does your university have gender policy? Does your university have sexual harassment? Say, yes, yes. They trust your system. So promoting equality and justice eliminates gender-based violence in nation and injustice, fostering a safe and equitable workplace.
Switch.
Research outcome. Thank you. Research. Create a positive workplace culture.
Okay, maybe her phone is somewhere else. Okay, I called and called. I was like, you know, around like this.
They have to oversee, to help to ensure the right thing is done.
The brother is
all the encouragement.
the
office. So it's a place that handles
calling you say no.
to gender and feelings. It's a symbol of the institutionalization of gender inclusivity in an organization. So when you have gender mainstreaming office, I'm so glad that this organization has a gender mainstreaming office. So when it becomes a symbol, I was so glad that Dr. Campos called the gender mainstreaming office. Wow, this is progress. When we started the University of Ibadan to do gender mainstreaming projects under the former Deputy Vice Chancellor Academy, the first female Deputy Vice Chancellor Academy, when we started, we did a certificated data. We did focus group discussion units and we did different units and sections of the department. It took us about a year, 2010 to 2011. We entered another one, by 2012, we finished everything, developed a policy, developed the sexual harassment policy, and GM was established. By that time, we didn't have such things around. So I'm so glad, I feel satisfied that they are not close, that they will be so happy.
So I don't know, this one that you're working on now.
So it's so beautiful.
Letter is this one, right? So how do you do it?
Training, engages in training, workshops and seminars as doing sensitization, collaboration with other institutions and NGOs, sexual harassment and gender-based violence, guarantees confidentiality and the protection of individuals' identity. The scope, it applies to all staff of this particular institute, all the staff, all departments, academic and non-academic, researchers and non-researchers, everybody, technical staff, everybody. It applies to everybody.
She's still not like this.
Collective and individual ownership of the GMO.
Men were National Day.
Not their
I wanted to say if we
not their unit, it's our own. So that should be the attitude.
It's essential also.
Challenges
you help me organize with them.
GMO, a possible way out. Structural gender ideology that resists change. Sometimes you see people that don't want
to organize
it's because of
that kind of thing we have with them.
You are not born with it, you are socialized in it. So this structural gender ideology can make people to resist change, no matter what you're doing. And this can hinder GMO from achieving maximum success. Funding is an issue. It will limit their capacity to do many things they want to do.
Even if it's water.
So there's need for money. The units must be funded to continue to do all it needs to do. Workers may be ignorant of the role of GMO in organization. But then they talk about women. Things like resources allocation is not woman matter. Fear of punishment or stigmatization discourages people for reporting their unfavorable experiences. You can say this, we're talking. It happens everywhere, even in higher institutions. So students may not want to say anything, even though girls harass men. But gender is also much about sexual harassment. It's about institution building. It's about institution building. Sexual harassment is one of the bigger. There can be discrimination. Possible solution.
I don't like keeping this.
Seek for more funding, even through institutional support, continuous sensitization, gender policy and sexual harassment policy need to be put in place. Enhance confidentiality and and or ensure anonymity. Collaborate with
Thought as much as
conclusion, some key points.
Yeah.
Gender mainstream means political will for sustainability. You may have an executive officer that is gender friendly, you may have the one that will not be gender friendly later. So there's need for political will. On the part of leadership, ensure that
again.
the right
So
thing
these are most of the drivers. We lost so I think they need to
human rights and social
be having
issue. So what? The laws promoting equality, inclusivity at the workplace, capacity of men and women are tapped for the overall growth of an organization. Workers have a sense of inclusivity and it encourages hard work. When there are resources, maybe people need to be appointed to attend a conference or a workshop in Kenya or any part of the world. A gender inclusive institution will say, they say we should be 20 people, 20 or 10 people are going. Okay, we try to balance it, but it does not sacrifice merit. So it does not promote mediocrity. Because of the man, they must put in, because of the woman, they must put in. You must maintenance. So that when there's opportunity, they look at people that are qualified. And from them, they select. So that not that people who go and last, they look the gender, that I know, how many of them for this department? How many of them in this unit? They talk about gender. Competent people. So competence must not be sacrificed because of the gender. Workers have a sense of, okay, all right, workers trust they will achieve their potential and aspiration in an organization. Hence, retention is achieved. When there's retention in an organization, there's continuity. Otherwise, someone leaves, or it will be like politicians. The politician is an office. When he leaves, no continuity, so abandon project. Thank you very much. Just another number.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Can we give her another round? Right. Thank you once again. Please, can we take pen and paper and write down our questions? We'll have question and answer session later after the second speaker. I'd like to invite Professor Deborah from the Department of Agriculture Extension and to please our own focusing on the importance of gender mainstreaming in horticultural research. Okay.
Good morning. I'm the executive director. This is very important. Research is
That's why I started.
Sorry, I can't remember the name, but you are welcome, ma'am. And then Dr. Badru is so close to me, and she's been passionate about this gender, and I'm so happy to be here this morning. And like I said before, I have known your ED for a long time. Afaro, I know you to be very versatile, a dynamic person. What guys? Very transparent. I very reliable and very responsible. I'm not my researcher, and so there's no getting about that. And so I'm so happy to be here this morning. So when I saw his name, and then it was Dr. Basmos, I said, I must be here. So I am very tired. So I'm so happy to be here. It's like coming home. We've been here before from general meeting of this event by very many years ago. I think that I didn't know or something. I did 2 labs, yes. We came here to Sensitize Institute, and then we are here again. My name is Professor Stella Ojebode. The primary director of Gender Mainstream Office in the University of Ibadan. When we were trying to put up all of this, we came here, and then we were just like my colleague said, we had a team led by Professor Dejide, and then we felt that the University of Ibadan should actually have a gender policy, and then we started with the Gender Mainstream Committee. And so when the ED was asking, let's know the number of, when I came in, I was looking for the number of women and men. So we had the same mind. And I think it has to change. Even the number, the members of that committee must change. We must have equal number, male and female. Why? Because the two genders are important. And so having said that, I'm very, very happy to be here this morning. And what is the rationale? Sorry, that's an meeting. Maybe we are trying to do the transfer for gender policy. There is a need for gender in any institution, whether research institute or higher education, even in the secondary school and tertiary institution. And so we started like that. President Jidea was part of the team. And then after we gave president out, as I said, and then we said, okay, why do we need this thing? That thing? One of our professors had, actually applied for grants, and then they refused him that grant. Very big grant from the US. Why? They said your institution does not have a gender policy. So we just said, okay, that particular committee will have to that we have all and then the award, this award program. They will ask you, I think there's a place there where they say, does your institution have a gender policy? We say no, you have missed that. So there is a need for it. So why gender policy? The first thing is that gender is a human rights issue. Do you believe it? Yes. Whether you're a male or female, you have the right to be what you want to be. Except you want to change yourself and be what you call, they call themselves now, homosexual or whatever it is. Whether you're a male or female, and then whether you want to be a thief or whatever it is. The Constitution of Nigeria says that categorically. So if you are being molested by your husband or wife or so, you have right to report. You don't need to die in silence. Are you getting me? Yes. So it's a human right, and so we must have it in this institution. And it's good that it's coming to play. And then it's a blueprint for responsibility. When you are responsible for an institution, there must be a gender something, The gender mainstream office, like I said, after we have written the policy and all of that, they asked us to also write the policy for sexual harassment. And I presented the Senate in 2014 and it was approved. So when they want to see a responsive institution, then this institute must be one. So you are doing the right thing in the right direction. A benchmark for institutional advancement. I've gone outside the country to speak on gender issues, institutional issues, public extension and all of that. They ask you, do you have a gender policy? Then when you say you have it, they say, yeah, that institution is advanced. So I want to tell you this morning that you are doing the right thing by having that. And I thank God that he is here. And I'm sure he's a man of the people. And I'm sure he has found it already. Henceforth, you're going to be hearing good news about this institute. Now, gender is key to problem solving. Do you believe that? Yes. Now, if I want to, I'm going to give you an assignment before I leave. And I'm going to ask, how many toilets do we have for females in this room? How many toilets do we have for males? No, outside the country, they have for transgender, which we don't have. And so you can say, how many women? So when you get to a place, you must put on the gender lens. How many women are here? Now look at our ED sitting alone. If not because we are there, maybe it would have been just bone to bone. I would have expected that even on the IT, and so we should put on the. So it's key to problem solving. When you get into your research institute or your unit, you begin to count now how many women are there, how many men. Does it mean because women are underrated, that's why they are not employed? No. If you have the same requirement as men and female, you should be employed. Whether you are pregnant or not. You see, there was time when I was the primary gender mainstream office, just like we have there. And so there was one lady that was with the vice chancellor that day. And the person said for me, coincidentally, I saw that lady. And the lady was crying. He said, oh, Sister Kajana said, Stella, you have come at the right time. Look at this lady is kind. I said, why? He didn't say because I'm pregnant. And then my HOD said that you cannot employ me. I said, forget it. I said, and this lady is employed already. Then the brother was laughing. He said, I told you, you will know. I said, yes. Who gave the pregnancy? You know, now the woman is pregnant. I said she cannot do what? I just told you that she cannot go to the lecture room to teach. Does pregnancy affect teaching? No. So whether you are pregnant or whoever you are, you must be able to do your duty. That's what I'm trying to say. Then I say because I'm a lady, maternity leave. And so, because for maternity, when you come back, you do the right thing. You come on time, sign your listing, be a good example, teach well, do your research well. When you need to go to the farm, you go to the farm. That's how you be employed. But if you say because I'm a woman, if the HOD should consider me, no. That is not it. So I hope you are following. So we can solve a lot of problems by looking at the number of male female in an institute and then be able to provide solution to such problems. And that's why in most research institutes they say women can also apply, isn't it? Or women are encouraged to why cultural agents want to say we see a grant, then they will be the ones to apply. Why women don't feel that even if I say anything, they will not that is not true. We need to put on the gender, and we that are women or men, we must stand to your responsibility. You come to work on time. Sometimes it's even problems of ourselves. You know, in some departments, female are the head and they are intimidating the others. Is this supposed to be? Shouldn't be. Sometimes some people prefer to work with men. Why? So women too should go back home today to have a change of mind. You must work with yourself. Don't be too big. I want to send this thing to everyone to this morning. That you see, even in the Bible and Quran, we are not supposed to be, women are supposed to help with the men. If you see somebody coming in here and is a woman and is working with her head, what are we going to do? We run away. So the gender does not say we should not respect men. So what that are educated, respect your husband. Respect the man gender. It is both ways. Sorry, I'm the gender, so that's not the carry. So I said that Africa has tried to participate in economic growth many years and sustainable human development. That's a long story. I'm going to skip some because my colleague has said something. And so gender is far from attaining 2015 MDGs. Now we are talking about MDGs. Lack of enthusiasm to confront the merits of gender inequality. We have it everywhere. They said it when a man talks and a woman talks, and they will try to say no. So according to Professor the woman that talked before that one. And so because of that, many men, women want to be quiet. Discrimination along gender lines have been firmly established in Africa. Why? Because this is Africa where we think women are the center, they will take like a commodity in the house. So we promoting gender equality and everything is globally now accepted. And that's why we are here today. And it's a development strategy. Development will only take when men and female are recognized and when their roles are put in place and when they perform. So research is to expand singleness of purpose into this knowledge. So this research is between So why do we have to change this unity? They are teaching and research now. One, what do we want to achieve? We attempt to apply gender principles to specific curriculum and research topics. So any research we are having as a unit, apply gender principles, male and female, enhance quality and relevance of the teaching research too. The quality must be enhanced. Both male and female, perhaps, let them be equal so that we'll be able to get the facts of the case. Then discover ways of integrating gender into teaching and research. So remember that gender is all about what? I think my colleague said that it's all about people. Now, what is this workshop not about? It's not just about basic gender awareness. We don't want to just say it and leave it. We want to say it and make use of it. And that's why I'm glad that our leader is here. And he's that person that is just himself. I know he will be here to put his name. So gender is not, it's not just basic gender awareness workshop. It's not just another curriculum review. Okay, they just want to put women here. Okay, no, that's not why you're here. It's not an exercise to develop a checklist of courses or research topics you have. No. And then it's not just about gender, is not just about, I think I said that too. So gender mainstreaming is not based on sentiment, but on significance of gender to scientific or scholarly study. That is what gender is. Now, this workshop too, each participant should know that we want to explore the gender implications of research policies and practices. Do we have a policy? If we don't have, then we need to start to do something. You know, I was part of those who developed policy for Nigeria. And then we went to some universities to FUNAP. We went to LAUTECH and all of that, developed their gender policies, and they are all doing well. So we should join the trade. That's what we also formed their policy for them, and then they have their policy too. So we should also know that we should make informed decisions based on realization of differential impact of policies on male and female. This is why this workshop is important. And then to understand gender dimensions of health and security policies and practices. Now we are talking about security issues in Nigeria. Now we should ensure the systemization of gender policy, that is fairness in our structure. So we begin to say, okay, in this department, how many women, how many men? Okay, what do we need to do? We may employ more. What should be their qualification? We are not saying the qualification because you are a woman should change. It should be the same. If you are qualified, you give me that job. Then to facilitate attainment of a greater level of gender justice and human rights. That is why the social should focus. Facilitate better working conditions between female and the male colleagues. If I ask you questions now about it, many women want to work with female men. Why? They feel that they cannot work together. Is it good? So we have to change this. Sometimes the woman is your head, and then they say, what's wrong with her? Is she the only one? What she's talking about? I'd rather work with this man to be a research collaborator. We need to change that, because if that mindset does not change, there will be no change in whatever you're talking about. We should work with them. What are the expected outcomes? One, improved understanding of key role of human resource development in establishing gender equity. And I'm happy that I think we are all in the management, the heads of units, HODs, and all of that. So this is what we want to achieve. And then we want to achieve the fact that we want to be better informed decision making by leaders. We need to be well informed. So if you are a leader, you should put on your gender lens. Now you should take home this today and make things happen in your various units, and then improve operational system. That is their mode of operation. Better working relations between male and female too, and colleagues, and attitudinal change. Some women, when they are men, the co-women, they are looking for, they want to go outside for a workshop, say, no, you can't go. You can't. And you have been going. What prevents others not to go? We need to change. We should be better, we should have enhanced knowledge and ability of each gender's right. Your rights. Yes, somebody is coming and then just say, because this person is a woman, you are married, and you're just I'm married. I'm not just saying, and before you know it, they begin to touch your breast. No. You have the ability, you must have attitudinal change. Enhance knowledge and ability of each gender's rights. You must know your rights. Then improve access to and control over resources by gender. The fact that you are giving them money does not mean you should eat it all. Or you just go because you want to clear the money in your account, in your units. No. Improves health, gender, and mobility. Now, my colleague has talked about steps between, the political difference between male and female. Gender is a role. The ways in which society is now men and women relate. Our ED is a man, isn't it? What is roles assigned to ED, isn't it? Now, if the ED is the woman, does it change? No. That's gender. Roles and responsibilities assigned to the gender. Yeah, these are roles. Whether you are a male or female, you need to be able to. When you are in ED, you go to the farm, you supervise, and that's gender. Whereas sex is biological difference by the way you are born, either a male or female. Are we following that? I don't want to spend more time on this. Now, gender and human resources. Now, human resources policies determine the type of academic, administrative, and management staff hires. And this is where I really want us to take note of you. Handling of those staff and their dependents, then appropriate approaches to human resources development with regard to teaching and non-teaching, whether you are staff or academic staff, in management, human resources will take care of this issue. How? The management should focus on this HR recruitment. What is started with UI? We focus on after the president and all of that. We now say, okay, let's sensitize, like we are sensitizing you now, administrative staff, we have specialized workshops, even cab drivers. Anyone who has anything to do with UI, we have to sensitize them so that they know that that policy covers every woman. You cannot be a contractor and then be messing up with our girls anyhow. Those policies or anything is in that place. And then we want to say, okay, some people when they are in they are even advise their students not to go for education. Why? Because you're a woman, you should go and read education. Why? And then because you're a woman, you cannot go and read technology. Many women now. What does it cause them to climb the path and do the needful? So we needed to change that. So we now needed policies on employment, appointments, admissions, appointments and promotion. Once you are qualified, why not? If they give you that position. But if you say you're a woman and say, because you're a woman, they deny me, no, you have to take it. So focus on equipment, staff development, communications and privileges, policies, strategies and programs, reward system, and disciplinary issues. You must take that. Then, the management involves doing the people to achieve the institute's vision. We must do this as an institute, supporting staff, maybe for conferences and for workshops and all of that. We should motivating them, either you give reward or award to the best staff of the year, the best whatever it is, and those things will also help. Then communicating. We need to communicate from time to time. If you don't communicate, some people are suffering in silence. And we have had some institutions, universities, when lecturers are just trying to sit with those children, and then those children are just keeping quiet because the man is trying to sexually harass them. They should not speak and all of that. The policy releases everybody, you are free. You shouldn't do that to them. So delegate it to. We even had hotlines in those cells. If anybody is harassing you or so, you can send to that hotline and you can report the case. Delegate them to do work. Whether you are a male or female, when ED gives you this to do, you must do it with satisfaction. That things that are written in your letter of appointment. So you should delegate, negotiate with you. You can negotiate with the planning, coordinating, and controlling. So the management should be mindful of all of this for a successful one. I want to skip this because my colleague has said that. What happens in gender insensitive institutions? What happens? Transfer of gender biases in the wider society. Women are generally, is it a woman? When I'm teaching and I know that the man is speaking too much, I will call the women and say, you speak. Then I say, why is it the only men are talking in this class? No, you, by force, say something. And by the time you ask them now, you see that they have a lot of things there. But because of our culture, they are tend to be looking at it. If you are in a family and you give back to 5 girls, no boy, what happens? And so, in Africa. But if you have only 1 boy and then 4 girls, that boy becomes an institution. You become the chairman, I just sit on the table, eat everything, and give the plate there. And then when you want to wash plates, you say, oh, Shade, you want to play? This one is very dirty. Where is Tiruke? And the children is sitting down there as if it's the governor. And the end of not knowing anything. So if this bulb gets bulb, I want to change the bulb. Do you come today or shall you? Why? But we need to change this attitude. Even the boy should be able to cook. The boy should be able to find yam. The boy should be able to do everything. So we should put on gender lens. So it should come to this institute. We should do it. So these biases are transferred everywhere. Gender violence, hostility, aggression, lack of fair representation on decision-making bodies. Who is going to represent us in Senate? Let's choose Professor Ajayi. Why not Professor Tinuke? They feel that they can talk as a woman and they will not take it. You can see. That's what happens. Then I see stereotyping. Sister has talked about that. Because you already know that. Why is this man talking like a woman? You know that he's talking is a man. What is the woman going to do with this one? You know that he's driving in front of me is a man, and he's driving like that. Why are you driving like a woman? I talk stereotype because of what you think women are generally. We should change this mindset. Labeling and harassing of gender activities and activities, just label them. Unequal association allocation of resources too. Every year in our budget, I am happy that our ED is here. I'm not looking at it this time around. We must give grant and the things that we help women to grow, just like we have men. They are going for conferences. Maybe you have 2 men and 2 women that year. In different units, should cut across. Should not be male. So unequal allocation. Seats in the office. All our seats, each office has the fridge and all of those things, fans and all of that. We should try to make sure that we don't have unequal allocation of resources or opportunities when the time comes. So, gender-based leadership said that we should raise up, resolving any unfair or gender-insensitive practices in the just manner. Now we should put on the gender-less in this institute and mainstream gender into everything. In our curriculum, research work, anything. Let male and female be brought into the practice. And so we have talked about gender equity, same quality and quantity of opportunities. Both male and female should enjoy the same. You see, equity means fairness. Be fair. You say, you work. No. We should have both male and female. We should have equal access to it. Fair chance of both groups to have needs met. Equal access to opportunities for realizing full potential as human beings. So with equality, we have talked about, she has talked about that too. We are required to build in measures to compensate for historical and economic advantages of any group. Don't forget that in gender studies, we also have physically challenged, or we call them yes. Now, for example, if I want to pass here now, there should be a ramp here. Where, even those that are physically challenged can easily come through. And when I was the director of the office, one blind woman came. She was a blind lady. And so there was time for them to choose the president. And so she came because they can report anytime. So she came and said, she was annoyed. I said, why? He said she wanted to put up herself as the president of Balewa, and they refused and all of that. I said, no worry, sit down. I said, why? So they went and said that because she's blind, she cannot. I said, I will not. Go and apply. You see, because that's the only way you can encourage her. He said, go and apply. He said, men, now they're trying to, so that we will have more votes for men than them. I said, don't worry, just go and apply. We are in support. She went and applied, but even though she didn't win, but at least that lady now has gotten a PhD. She has gone to different countries. Yes, and she had a good job. So, this gender, we are talking about gender, it involves male and female, those who are physically challenged. You see, in gender, we have 4 elements. that makes up a rural family. We have the adult male, the adult female, the younger girls, and the younger, and you know that each of them has a role to play. When you say men, what do you think a man of the house should do, an adult man? Can you give me what they should be doing? Maybe they give money to for family to buy food. One of the women or the wife to cook and take care of the girl can work, can follow that. The boy, so that is gender. That's gender. Remember, the four elements there must be complete. It's not about women at all. The role that person has to play. That's the exact. And so why is it important in all this? Gender is a social reality. Do you agree? Yes. Yes. Social reality is signal for conducting research, advancing knowledge, developing innovation. It's most of innovations, even from women. Women are very, very good. You know, you have innovation, you have ideas. Men can do it one way, like sorry to my but women will say, 10 years to come, this thing might not work over. If you are a wise woman, you talk to your husband. But if you are not, you say, hey, you do it. So gender has been accepted as a cross-cutting issue in every sector. So we should buy it in this. And so gender issues are important for fuller understanding of social dynamics. I hope you have understanding. Now, in the Learning Institute, we should have gender audits. Evaluation of the situation of women relative to those of men. So we focus on gender gaps in enrollment, employment in this institute, retention, achievement, promotion, composition of committees. More men and female should be involved and they should perform. Allocation of tasks, staffing of academic management and administrative posts. So when I was going through and I said, oh, let it not be only women in this institute, we have also men. Because I was able to count and I see that yes, but I think we will also get there more. We need more men and women to work together. Now, in this activity, I want you to analyze detailed male and female profiles in your units. Write it down. It's the head of your unit. How many males do we have? How many females do we have? To be able to advise later when there is call for it from the ED or from the management, what should you do? What qualification do they have? What position do they occupy? That is gender budgeting. Examine representation of both genders in decision-making position. How many of them do you have in this system? Those that are really making decisions, working with the ED. Degree of involvement in family, communal, and other tasks. That's activity one. Write it down and take it home. And answer those questions and see and do a better thing that ought to be done. Now, reasons for high and low levels of it. You know that we have some in some institutes, we have more female, in some we have more male. Do you agree? Yes. What's the reason? Educational. The reason may be educational, the reason may be cultural, the reason may be because of religion, and the reason may be institutional, maybe systemic issues in that institution. So now, as part of what we take home, who is recruitment in promotion, who? Why? Is there a disparity in educational qualification? Look at disparity. Skills applied. Families, you know, in UI, in fact, in most of our associations now, we have women as presidents of student association. Because they have been sensitized to know that they have the right to also do anything that is good, not bad, in the institution. So we should look at that, who, why, and then move the institute forward. You see, do they have access to jobs? What content and demands? What tasks are assigned to you? Opportunity for capacity development. This is one of the capacity development we are hearing, and which is a very good one. You know, university enrollment or even your any institution, safety issues, employment terms, hours at work, travel, information network. We should have information network. You see, most of the problems you have in Nigeria, which I know you will agree with me, because now, if you have gone outside and they want to collaborate with you. Now they want to collaborate with you, and your collaborator is saying right now, is writing something, and you are not able to reply. Why? Because the internet is not friendly. Is that collaboration? Can it be successful? So that's the issue of that we need to get into. So that when we are talking about capacity development, I need to go for circumferences and all of that. And then works and travel out, informal works. When you say, no, I've not been employed to do this. No, what they ask you to do is to do that. Then when they come in the morning, they sit down, they listen to what the Yoruba this thing, and then they eat and then sleep. No. You shouldn't. What's the problem? I think. So all these changes must take place. Organizational quality, new, more gender-fair policies. So we should not end just having a gender mainstream office. We should do the work of gender mainstream office. Gender policy, improve operating systems, improve information flows. You must have ways by which people can get in touch with gender office and then make known all of this to the ED so that you can take whatever thing you want to be more apt, more efficient use of your time. You know, the time you have to gist. Have you heard about Dr. Sensitization? Have you heard about it? It should not be. Mind your business and do your work. More efficient use of your time. Use your time to browse on the internet to see research work that could be done and all of that. Not that today, this is not doing well. What's your business? This is will remain here forever. And you will leave. But your impact is what you want to see. Better working relations with male and female colleagues. Don't assume that female are very lazy. Work with me. I have told you, I said you want to work with you, I work with you, we are ready. That is research. We must be interested in that and don't gossiping. Improve access and control over resources by both gender. Use your money not for your wardrobe alone. Use your money to do research. You see, when we are getting this research grant and research, there's a allowance. When I was a younger lecturer, I used to save it, and I tell my husband, this one is research. So, as many complex I could go where I was going, and it was helping me to grow. It was helping my research work, it was helping my writing of papers. But if you sit down in the place and say, because you are pregnant, you cannot, you are carrying pregnancy, and the other colleague is making weight. The one will not like it again. So there should be improved access to those. Access the resources, apply for it, and see whether they will not be given. Improve knowledge and ability to enforce your rights. You see, if somebody is just trying to just press you down, I have zero tolerance for that one. Do your work, face your work, apply when necessary. Don't be talking when you're supposed to apply. And they say, they won't give somebody. No, they will give you. There was a professor in FUNAB. When we went to do sensitization in FUNAB, they also have their own. And she was saying, I've applied for grants for many years. He was a commissioner in Ondo State. He came back. He said he was there. I said, Prof, write it again. You know, most times when you write again and write and they don't give you, what do you do in Africa? Go. You know, we should not be tired. So the professor applied for Fulbright, senior Fulbright. You know, he got it. He was almost getting to retirement, and he got it. They got in the commission, but yeah, I got it though. I said, what did I do? You know, the problem we have now is we get tired because they figure you can use that particular grant that you have written that was rejected to improve on another one, and then you get it. So, as a woman, you should not be tired. Now, what are the programs to redress gender imbalance? How do we correct this problem? One, commitment of top management to greater gender equality. Let your management know that you should put on more gender lens now. When they bring anything, look how many female, how many male. Let these people go for conference. Let people ask for this research. You can even have research committee. Their own work is to be writing research, proposals for the institute. Your own unit, write proposals for your unit. Maybe you have a unit that is trying to do that. Don't you think the management will be happy? Yeah, and you get a lot of grants for your institute. Let's try to do that. Be committed to this. Gender training that we are having now for HR and for staff. It's only when you come there you can hear anything and you can make sure. If you are not here, you can. No. Train and hire more women at higher levels, especially technical staff. When we started the gender, even in our own economic students in my department.
We're not planning this thing.
Bake cake.
Yes.
Make cake and they gave to one of the children in our outreach stations. And they said, who baked this? I said, men. Allow them to do it. Practical guidelines and support should be child care facilities, sexual violence, like it is possible, it is good for us to have facilities that will be useful. For example, now, if as you are here, somebody wants to deliver and the person is laboring, how do we take care of such? Do you have us to take the person to? Then maybe in a week or something, we should have something like a medical something, office, where people can easily check their BP, check their so that they will feel that even at home, at work, everything is available. You don't need to slump. When you can go, you are feeling somehow, go to the clinic. Those are things that make practical guidelines. So for those that have children, if you have your nursery school here, Niles Nursery and Primary School, does it change anything? Is it good? Yeah. So you are coming to work, you drop your children in Niles daycare and whatever it is. Setting time based target for achieving gender on time, produce guidelines and gender sensitivity again and assessment. You want to hear more of these things on the radio? Tell us about seeds. Though we heard that, but I think we should do more. They should invite us to maybe radio stations, VCOS, NTA, tell us, okay, now, when should we plant? How do we distribute these seeds to farmers? What time of the year? All of those things. We should address that. Give appropriate weighting to academic teaching and community service. If somebody is the head of whatever it is you are doing, I think we should recognize such people. It helps, it encourages you to do more, And then if you are the best, the most punctual staff in IELTS this year, I'm sure by next year, everybody wants to be, and if that is a woman, you say, hey, woman is the best, the most punctual. Men also want to beat, and they want to do well. Provide a variety of staff development opportunities, Look at the eligibility career. If it is, if you're over 40, you can review it and make it 50, over 50, so that they will be able, more people will be involved in that. Then composition of AMP, I don't know what to call it here for promotion. Sir? Yes, you can compose that from let it involve both male and female, those that are constantly. Mainstream gender, now we are saying in all departments we should mainstream gender or units. Mainstream them. Appoint one or more staff responsible for gender in each unit. When Mrs. Badmouse came, very, very many, I think we met in one conference or something. And said, we want to have it in there. I said, other units, universities and research institutes have it. How do we go about it? And you see, our perseverance really impressed me. And I think you should give her a round of applause. To come again, I love that. In fact, when she said, I said, even if I have a program today, I will shoot it because of you and because of you. Because she was a good example of this particular institute, which is good. So let's have focal persons in each of the units so that when you are coming together, you are coming to make decision for the institute. It will not be just one way kind of thing. Make workplace and work style and learning environment more women friendly. If I know that when I come to research this institute, I will use toilets, and the toilet is very fine. The toilet is not smelly. The toilet is flushable. Don't you think when you invite me, I will come? Because I know that close to that place, I can go there, and even the toilet, even if anything drops on the floor, you can almost see. Water is flowing. I hope water is flowing now. Although I tried to put on the internet, I don't saw auditorium, but I wasn't able to connect. I said, they need to please release that thing so that they'll be able to browse anywhere. Devise and implement gender equality and let's monitor and evaluation. Let's see whether we are doing well. And I know you're presenting. Well, gender is all about people, just to show you. Can you see this? If we did this in a village and you see both male and female there, just like you are here, it's about us and about people. Now I will keep all of it because of time. We have different things that you have in gender and transport, gender climate change. These are areas you can do your research. Don't say, is it about women? What are they talking about? You can do gender and transport, research on gender and climate change. Gender, you can even write proposals on that. Gender and reproductive health, reproductive health, gender and governance, gender and social behavior, gender and productivity, gender and entrepreneurship, gender and appropriate technology, gender and legal rights, gender gaps in education, gender and employment. Are we following? Yes. Are you tired? No. What are these challenges we have? These are the challenges. Brain drain. Media, I hope people have not Japan. But I think that is the problem now. That's the intake. Brain drain. People are running away because you see, even our pay cannot take us home. I mean, it's your own taking you home. You don't want to say no because it's here. Inadequate resources, no money. Militarity. Some people, even when the things are working, they want to be military. They don't want it to work. It's part of the challenge. Corruption of staff into reactionary governance, campus violence, low morale, pressure from polarization, poverty. The price of things are very expensive now. You know, many things that will not allow us to do what we ought to do. You can see this gender too. See woman trying to break so both male and female, they are all involved. I think one of our post program is gender of people. I mean, some people were having exams, and so it took me picture at that time. And he saw this guy, and this man told us that the wife was sitting for an exam, and he was bold enough to carry the baby. How many of us can carry the baby? When my children carry my bag, I say, "Who a man?" I say, "Oh, I want you carry your bag like this," because you say, "Ah, hey, to carry bag here, I am involved." You know, they don't want. So you can see it, but you should be proud of it. Two things about this guy: he was helping his wife. Aside from that, he was proud to do that as a man. So we can learn. I'm not saying we should be carrying baby anymore. I'm saying that if there's opportunity to do anything, you can do it to help the female gender to do our work and talk to you. So you can see this one, so I think I've shown this. You can see other women expanding, and we've got a lot of villages where we have a lot of gender. Put them together, both male and female, educate them, enlighten them in the village, the rural area. So anything about gender, we should be able to enlighten people so that even if they are rural and they cannot read nor write, you'll be surprised that they know everything. And what we do is when it's time to focus this discussion, we say, "Oh, Baba, do you know how do we get to this village?" I don't understand. Okay. Can you tell me what you have in the village? I don't know, but if you tell me, Baba, how old are you? That one. They don't know what to tell you. Okay. If you are entering this village, can you draw on the floor, on the sand? How you enter? Okay, how do you come? So you come through only Pepe. And Baba, where you put it there? Then you put it there like this. Okay, that's good. How many post office do you have? Post office. There is one very close to the King's Palace. Where is the King's Palace? Oh, very close to the river. Then by the time you finish it, you can get the resource map of that particular village from an image. That is a research that you can work on. You know, I don't know that I'm really punching you to do more research into places. Just to give you a few of such programs that we have done. I know that we will have questions. I don't want to repeat everything. But in this one, actually, I don't want to go to this, but how do you do gender-specific component of existing courses? Even what you are doing now, how can you do? It's actually something that I want you to do. You can have gender-only courses, let's say, or maybe your research, your unit. You can have one-on-one. You can have gender-inclusive. Many things that I think you can talk about that I said today in your research. And then look at your unit or department. Look at how you can logically include the topic of gender in one of those things. There is no time. I would have had some questions, but there is no time. Each course or what you are teaching or what you are trying to put in place must have gender component. You know, it doesn't have to be gender. You can say gender in admin economics, gender, you know, something like that. I hope you are getting it. So you can take several courses and then consider how you can use existing courses topics to incorporate gender issues. Is that clear? I want you to write that down. So I'm closing. I know you're going to have time to ask questions. So you integrate gender into existing policy. It may not be visible. We may not bring it out as gender, this, that, but inside of it, give example in everything. I want to stop here. And because if I continue, I don't think I'll stop because it's in my blood. Gender is just something that I want to thank Elizabeth for giving us the opportunity to be here, and I hope to come again to check whether we are really working on what we have said, and I'll be glad to have questions if we have them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we can do better with our writing. This is the kind of thing that you pay for outside to listen to, that has been brought to us here. Thank you very much, ma'am. We have Dr. Rufina Tukwali online. Dr. Rufina Tukwali online. As a security. So wants to have a contribution. Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
Speak up.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Rufina, we can hear you now.
Okay. Good afternoon, Prof. Edie. Is he still there? Is Prof still there?
No, we are not yet. But we are here listening to you.
Is Edie still there? I'm not seeing I just want to appreciate the ED, Professor Atonda, for giving the support this much. So I don't know if he's there to hear me, but if not, Dr. Badmore should extend my appreciation to him that the gender units have been fully established in your institutes and going this far to build the capacities and competencies of the gender focal person and the staff, and also the entire staff. I don't know, I've just been out of another meeting. I've been going back and forth joining you, but I'm not really following. But the much I can get, I had Prof giving the presentation, and she has said so much. So I wouldn't want to bore you on the gender mainstreaming she's already putting you through. I'm so glad to hear that you are able to invite resource persons to do this. My own take is just to emphasize on the facts of the policy that is already on ground. The policy has provided the framework, like Prof was saying, to mainstream gender. It's for the institute to adopt and adapt as it suits your mandate. So without wasting much time, I really want to recognize the much you are doing. In fact, initially I thought it was clean, but I go back, I say, no, it's not clean, it's 9 hot. I was like, wow, 9 hot is picking faster than clean. It's always been clean that I get response from, and the animal college there in Ibadan. So I'm glad that 9 hot is coming up and coming up in a great style. So please keep it up. And the issue of mainstreaming, like Prof has said, for us here, the emphasis has been on gender equality and equity. The equity is where I want to mention, where we have to at least be intentional, see it as a right to aid the disadvantaged gender. It may be the men, it may be the women. It's not always women. Like I always say, gender is not about women. It's all about inclusiveness. Prof has highlighted so much. So where we feel that a particular gender is disadvantaged, even when there is a kind of if you come to decision making and you see that by management position there is no woman there or there is no man there, the equity I want to emphasize is where they need to have a kind of consideration, either by percentage inclusion, like we see the affirmative action, or by being intentional that the most senior woman can be co-opted, even if not having a voting right, but to contribute something in terms of decision making. That's where I feel so much concerned that most of the time that consideration is just focusing on just equality, equality, equality. Giving equal opportunity is okay, but then look beyond that. The equal opportunities, there may be obstacles, there may be barriers that still disadvantaging a particular gender. We look at how to consider that in terms of intentional consideration, or giving a percentage that it must be this percentage that will be recognized or involved. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Am I talking to myself? Okay, so the equality is not always about number. It's also about the opportunities. I think the experts, they are doing the beautiful work that they are not going to challenge the problem. So I don't want to delve into that. My concern is that first, I'm appreciating DD for the support, and I think it will go further than that. I'm also taking to DES to acknowledge him as a he for she for this being there physically too. I know he is also supporter whenever we're having anything here. He's also supporting the gender consideration. So the four policy issues, the four policy objectives, please, I want that to be highlighted as you go into gender mainstreaming and look at the policy on ground. The strategies have been provided. I think the focus for you is to strategize on your own how to implement those four policy objectives that are well captured. They've captured almost everything. It's for us to strategize based on your own mandates. Then, like Prof was also saying, the issue of climate. And I think there are two things that must be factored into your gender considerations as you go into your research. The issue of climate change and the issue of nutrition. These two, if I put them together as three burning issues, gender, climate change, and nutrition in the agricultural sector. So being at the research end, that needs to harness gender sensitive technologies. There's a time I went for training at Burkina Faso for MITA, that's marketing the agricultural innovation technologies. That year was just on gender sensitive technologies. I thought that the time was too short for me to gather that information. I believe it's time we start documenting such information. Technologies that are specifically gender sensitive, we need to have them. And we also want to emphasize the issue that still intersection. We go further than just the men, women, boys, girls. There are also the vulnerable groups. Their voice also needs to be heard. Their needs need to be considered. There are these people that are also in the value chain, but no voice. They need to be recognized. Gender mainstream will go further to identify their needs, give them voice, attend to their needs. In all, we are talking about productivity. Once we're able to put everybody on ground, all hands on deck, whether man, woman, boy, girl, is for productivity, and that's the only way we can draw people out of poverty. I'm not just trying to delay or to say further. I think the competent hands there are doing more than I'm saying. I just want to lend my voice that you participated very well. I appreciate this, and I also want to have the video. As I requested the other one, this one will be an additional video to what I've gotten from you. I'll really be glad to get a video clip on this, just edited from not the whole content of what you are doing. That's much I can say now. Please, if video is not there, extend my greetings to him. The two professors that have their names from UI, I believe we are just engaging. One day, maybe it will be a turn to bring you to Abuja if we have what it takes to bring you. Otherwise, maybe we'll go by virtual. I think we also need to build the capacity of other gender focal persons. And lest I forget, I also want to ensure that the gender unit there will also be inclusive in bringing people to join them. It may have, like what I tried to explain to you, the staff of the unit, then draw desk officer from other programs to also be the gender lens in their various programs or departments. From time to time, you meet to discuss issues and how to go forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rufina Regina. Are you still on the call, ma'am? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, thank you. This is Dr. Badmore, the gender focal person for NIHOT. Thank you so much.
All right.
Just found that the ED is not here, the internal management committee are here. They are in full support of this, and I think it's very important that I say this because the management backing has been very helpful in bringing this workshop to fruition. And we also have the management backing in promoting the establishment of this particular office. So please, I want you to also note this and especially appreciate the management for this. Particularly, you have the chairman of the research review planning committee here, Dr. Adetula. She's also put her weight behind this particular unit, and then she's always out to support it. So I just thought I should put this to you, ma'am. Dr. Regina, who is speaking to us, she is the head of the Gender and Youth Unit of the Agricultural Research Center, Research Council in Abuja. She is the one coordinating all gender focal persons across the Research Institute, of which NIHOT is one. And she has also been our lens at the council and giving us all the necessary support for this particular program and the establishment of this unit. So, Ma, please, if I would just have you thank our management institute, then give you the opportunity to also attend your other program. And then a quick one, Ma. Actually, the representative for all the departments and units are part of the people that are come to this program. We have all the accounts, audit, research, and even non-research, technical, they are all represented. We have had representation from all these different programs and units, and we all came together to draw this, and we are having meetings from time to time. And these same representatives from the different units and programs are the ones that are going to be involved in the program of tomorrow. We are going to have a gender workshop to further, this will be more detailed to this particular set of people, and their head of programs and head of units are also part of the people that will be trained. They can now go ahead and step down this training to their different units and programs. So I would want you to please take do this thanks and note of thanks to the management while the program continues. If you are still going to be on, Ma, I know you are very busy schedule. You are still going to listen to my presentation, what you are going to do for another thing. Thank you, Ma. So over to you.
It's all right. It's all right. That's okay. That's okay. But I think it's also good you called my attention to the internal management committee that are there, and because they also need to support you to get the buy-in of the ED. And on that note, I also want to mention the need to domesticate the policy, like we were told in the last meeting. They have to domesticate and popularize their own policy. So if that should be my request to them, to also support you in seeing that is fast-tracked. The earlier you get to have your documents, the better for each institution, be it the college or be it the NARI. So I think I also want to put that before them to support you when you put up your request to have the policy adopted and adapted to suit your own institution. That is where I'm now coming in. So I appreciate them for taking their time to be there. It shows that there you're already having the support of the ED and the management So the ball is now in your court to do the much you can and as fast as possible. So I think that's just the main thing I want to say, that I appreciate their supporting you, and I want you to take that opportunity not for granted, make use of it, and explore the opportunities that are available right now and do the much you can, especially to domesticate. Be the first, because I'm still waiting for that institute that will be the first to do that. If you invite us, we'll be glad to come. And then that will give others the pace to follow. Is that clear with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Okay. So which that's you want me to say what again?
Thank you so very much, ma'am. That's just what I wanted to say. And it's very nice that you mentioned the issue of the adoption and adaptation of the policy. We're already working on that. Thank you so much, ma'am. The program is still on now.
Okay.
Hand it over.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I'll continue with the other meeting. I have another meeting. I actually stepped out to join this.
All right.
Thank you. My regards to the professors from UI, Professor Stella,
They can
can
hear
she
you.
hear me?
They can hear
Please,
you.
I'm okay. Please, my regards to them.
Thank you.
It's all right. Bye.
So, please, Dr. I'd like Dr. Wagner to here. We'll be talking on the gender mainstreaming of his purpose, objectives, and activities. But before she comes forward, I want to indulge us to please switch off our phones so that we can have focused attention in this meeting. On a lighter note, when Professor Deborah was talking, a gender joke came to my mind about a pastor who made an announcement in his church that every man who thinks is not being controlled by his wife to move to the left side of the church. And everybody in the church, every man in the church moved to the left side of the church, except one man. The pastor, thinking that at least we have one strong man in the house, asked the man, okay, sir, why do you think that you are not being controlled by your wife? And he said, my wife that said I should not move. He said, if my wife that said I should sit down, I should not move. So while you are thinking about gender, you can think about that. Let's put our hands together. So I think and afterwards, we have the question and answer session. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. Please, I don't want to give our indulgence quickly on this because of time. This presentation is on gender mainstreaming of cultural research. What are the roles and objectives of gender mainstreaming of it? This is what we have been told by the speakers. What are the things we are expected to do as a gender mainstreaming of it? These are some of these things have been said by the people before me. So I'm not going to waste much time on them. Gender mainstreaming is crucial, as I said, to promoting equality and equity. And as been emphasized, just talked about the different roles of men and women in society, boys and girls, as they have been told. And we know horticulture is very critical when we talk about food and nutrition security. So why the other aspects of agriculture talks about the quantity and all that? What horticulture does is look at the nutritional aspect of food
And that's why we talk about fruits and vegetables and all those things. So that's what actually distinguishes horticulture from other aspects of agriculture. And just as the way of justifying the need for this has been said by other speakers, the gender agricultural policy, we have a policy in place already by the Agricultural Council of Nigeria, and that's the policy the last speaker was referring to, the woman that just spoke now. There's a policy in place already. What this office is supposed to do, in addition to other things, is to find a way of domesticating this policy and bringing out strategies by which we can operationalize this policy. And that's one of the mandates of this particular gender ministry of. And specifically, the target of that policy is to ensure that at least 35% of all agricultural in Nigeria, they have improved their gender equity and equality as far as agricultural sector is concerned. That's one of the objectives of the Agricultural Council gender policy that we are supposed to domesticate in NIOS. And it's not only NIOS, just as expected from other researchers. We're also supposed to establish a sex-specific and gender-sensitive environment for integrating integrated agricultural research for development. These policy objectives of ARCN are 4 in number. I'm not going to go through them. I'm not going to go through what gender mainstreaming is. I think I've been told that. The roles of gender mainstreaming office, I think that I should talk here. I will to conduct a gender analysis and assessment, to develop and implement gender specific policies, gender sensitive policies, as you have been told. Also to provide training and capacity building. These are some of the functions of this office that has just been established. And we're also supposed to facilitate gender sensitive budgeting, monitor and also evaluate gender related projects. These are some of the activities of the office. We are supposed to also collaborate with researchers and stakeholders, identify and address gender-based constraints, develop and integrate gender-sensitive technologies, enhance men's participation in decision making, and also to document and share best practices. Benefits of gender mainstreaming, I won't go through that because we have been told before. The challenges and opportunities, also I won't go through this. Now, in terms of reference, I should also say something here. The terms and reference that this group of representatives from the committees that have been inaugurated to work on, they are supposed to come up with gender sensitive projects and result indicators. We have people from different programs and units represented. And we're supposed to encourage the use of gender sensitive language. This is a work environment. We should encourage the use of gender sensitive language, words like people, population, beneficiaries, vulnerable groups, and things like that. Sex and age-targeted data, something we should also be able to do so that can address the gender inequality. The assignment Professor Dr. gave us is part of this thing. How many males and females are in your unit? What are their roles and responsibilities? These are important data. Then organizational capacity on gender issues, staff, organizational structure, and guidance and manuals. These are some of the things that our office is going to be coming up with. We also expected to follow up gender issues, narrative and financial reporting and agreement conditions. This is not only important for grant purposes, also for image making of the institute and for us to be able to comply with the directives of our supervisory agency. And as a matter, as a way of concluding, gender mainstreaming is crucial for enhancing equality, equity, and inclusivity in horticultural research and development. By establishing this office, horticultural research institute can promote gender equality, empower women, and improve horticultural productivity at large. Recommendation: establish a gender mainstreaming office that we're already doing. Develop gender sensitive policy. We already have one that we're going to be, domesticating. Provide training and capacity building. This we have started. We hope to continue. Enhance women's participation in decision making. Yes, we have been told that there are a lot of women already, so we are going to have to see how we can bring more men in. Monitor and evaluate gender related projects. These are also
one of the things I expected to do. Thank you for listening. Yes, there will be this one is a very big one. Before this meeting, before this meeting, we had a form sent out to start to fill their course on what they understand by gender. Let's see whether they have any idea of what gender is before you came on board. And then we gave to different departments what do they feel about gender, they think gender is important. And this is just just an outline of the report that we got from that particular presentation. So different units and different programs reported on this, and we put it together to have an idea of what is the take-off final step when we talk about gender issues. So I will just quickly present to us. All right. So in terms of conceptualization, we see that people have different conceptualization when it comes to the issue of gender. Some are saying it's just a sexual classification, some are saying it's human traits, others feel that it's role assigned to specific set of gender, and then human, it's just a mere human identity. These are the different reactions from the participants. With respect to perception of gender roles and value, some say it's just behavior of each gender, some are saying it's duty of every gender. These are just data anyway. These are just data to show us that we have actually done a kind of identification of what the people feel about gender before doing this workshop. And we did draw from different units and programs so that we can have not only research officers, people from the account department, people on the field, people that are doing technology to find out what they feel about gender. I don't want to take much of our time because there are questions and answers, and we intend to close this workshop very soon. So at this point, I will just allow the details of this I can share with other members of the house later so that we can release our name.
Thank you very much for what happens. We want to have a question and answer session. I don't know if you are writing them down. Have them written on papers. And we just have them. We have anybody?
I have interventions, not only questions. We have questions to answer. Or maybe observations or additions from members of or
Suggestions, observations.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I want to appreciate the professors from UI. They told us that we have, for this session, that we have to unlearn certain things, which I believe I've already done. I hope it's not late, but I'll still do something. I'll still do something about it. But where I'm going, I've observed over time, because it's not the first time this kind of change is coming up. But in Nigeria and even outside, the first persons that are always talking about gender mainstream are females. And each time they talk about it, male gender, there's the way they feel that they are coming again. They believe that majorly focusing on maybe pushing forward the female gender. Then over time I observed there was a friend that has a grant. He works with Nigeria Medical Research in Lagos. So he wanted some students to be attached to that grant. But he said he didn't want a lady that is married or planning to be married. That a married woman, because of the work, they get pregnant and then the work will not move. We have people still having still having this. So I believe that among these people talking about this gender mainstreaming and all sorts, we should have males, maybe male gender, coming up. Maybe if some of our men, when they see some men coming up to talk about the same subject matter, maybe they will be able to kind of, maybe flow along and probably learn some of the things. It's possible some might have because they were forced to come and they feel that, okay, this is an institutional thing, I have to be there. But what they are going to talk about is talking about the women. Then that's one. Then another observation is that I discovered that over time, even among the IMC, it appears they have more women. And of course, before you become whatever, it has to be by promotion, before you get there. And when you are there, we now discover that we have more females coming up than the males. And if we look at it generally, it's not that we are not having female, even from what we're looking at here, it's as if we have more females. I don't know what is responsible for that anyway, but we just saw that the situation presented itself. In the management, we have more women than the men. Because the thing is rotational. So some of the men, they have done it and they have gone. And the women are now, so we have more of the females, more of the males. Females than the males, and it happens like that, like in my unit, we have more males than the females. So the thing is somehow, situation where we have that, what can one do? Thank you. I just want to correct the last statement about the high speed, that we have more female than the male. She's just working during her time when she said that we have more women. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it wasn't like that. And I think I was the one that suffered it. Because during that time, I have the senior men and the one after me. I was one between almost 10 or 9 men for years. So for her, she's quite lucky because now we are having more women. But I can say it wasn't that easy then when I was there, having and when I was able to get myself again, despite the fact that I was surrounded by men who were able to work together and still be able to come up. Now I can say now I have only one man before me, and I still have how many men after me. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Sorry, all principals we have. Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. It's very good presentation that we have. And for the organizer, how to call me personally, how to fly this. I really, I'll try and make everything clear. You are having a booklet here of questions and contributions. First and foremost, Professor Boko, you are thinking at United World, and that sorry. Oh, I love the way you balance it off. Fantastic. I love it. You made a comment that when they are talking about gender, mystery, some people think, oh, maybe some people is white or the group are giving them money. I think the Bible is thinking that that's the belief of some people. How about you persuaded me to be in the main line of gender mainstream, as we call it. And that's why I said it's fantastic. When I entered, it started before I entered. But when I saw GM, based on my own areas of television, anything 25 years. So, you don't feel period. That's why I don't make education. And then we talk more. But we need to clearly define some areas when it comes to take up the street. We need to what is sexual harassment? When we talk about sexual harassment, people always think, and even part of this presentation, especially Professor Odebe's presentation, sexual harassment and teaching of male harassing like this. And that is the focus, and that is the discussion people always have. Female too harassment sexually. We should define that, and then we should not forget how the manufacturer designed it. In this case, the manufacturer is God. When a lady enters a woman's office with act of aggressive house, or the designer of men and women design in such a way that sin is meant for men. Touching and speaking to your ear is meant for women. Do you understand? So when you press half-naked, skinny short, what God designed is when you see it for reproductive sake, let your hormone come out. When you break the man, when you do that and the hormones come out? No! So we should define sexual harassment in that area. Whenever I listen to this type of thing, most of the presenters will say gender equality, gender equality. I think all of them should go back to the drawing table. Actually, in Scotland, everybody in this week should go back to the drawing table. Even in the group, madam, you agree with me. Among your group, that's really gender balance. Everywhere I've been listening to these people call me. They have all women, talking. Where are the men that believe in gender equality? How will they be available? But do your research. I know why they are not available. I'm convinced that the equality will start from home. We should define, I'm still in the area of the definition. We should define what is opportunity and equality. I agree totally. We should give men and women equal opportunity. But equality, no. Why did I say no? The creator have not designed it that way.
Yes, so
if the creator has designed it that way, that this we should be equal, when men and women decide to have 4 children, if the woman is carrying first pregnancy, the man should carry the second pregnancy. Oh, the third one, maybe women, the fourth one, the man. So now God has not created equality. Only that women, the Muslims are not satisfied. See, if you ask me to sit down at home for my wife to be bringing money to cook, I'm a good cook. I tell you. And when I enter the kitchen, my children prepare everything. I don't spare oil, I don't spare fish. I spend my money, cook good food, eat, and the whole home eat. So, if they say, don't even bother say equality. Try and change role. Yeah, you be place of men, you place of women. For me, see, you can't say gender balance, gender equality, gender mainstream, and then women be there saying the other money belongs to us, my own money belongs to me. No. So, when I've been to South Africa several times, and when after doing the job, I always refresh myself, and I go to safari. I've witnessed lions in their colony. I've witnessed them twice. Women, lioness, feed the home, and the lion protect the home. That is the duty of each person. Even the animals know. They know that there's no equality. You all have different rules. And that's why you see lioness pursue the animal, kill, they prepare the table for the lion to come and eat. The lion and the lioness. But when it comes to threat, you see the lion coming out to protect. That is my duty. And that is my what quality people to men. And that is why you find men, when they have money, they are spending money, they are okay. But when they are family, you know that the money no longer available. But opposite is for the women. They keep the money even if they have millions. I'm not blaming them. Don't try to stop me. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them because that is how God did it. And that is why women are more economically okay rather than the finance of the group. So let me stop here.
Our legal presidents are one thing that they did here for. They were here hours before this. After this place. But please, they will not be asked to work. Please write them down. Then react to them later, not now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and please let us be, we have been informed by the technical units that light is off, we are on inverter, and we go off any minute from now.
Thank you very much. Let me just say one quick thing. You see, what the reaction of the last speaker, I think is expected. That's the normal thing in most of these gender workshops. And it's always good also to have such a reaction so that we can have clarification. The first speaker asked something about why is it that females are always the ones who presenting the gender workshop. I don't think it's okay. It's not true. You know, like you and I, when we have workshops, we try to put both male and females, and that should happen here too. So that we know that both men and female, they buy into what you are talking about. So I think it does, that comment is good so that we'll be able to know how our workshop will be looking like. You see, because there are many who, even those clapping, we are giving them opportunity to speak, they have spoken to, you know, the men. So I think maybe those workshops that we have gone to, females, you know, talk to that, but that I personally know. I also have, we have a lot of males who talk about this gender thing. So that's by the first speaker, what I can put down. Then the last speaker also spoke about harassment and all of that. You see, when we started in UI, we started with gender policy. All we're talking about gender policy for equality and all of that. Sexual harassment is a different thing entirely. I don't want us to lump it in this one. There's a university that did that. I want them. And at the end of the day, even the boys were not, because the men were just not ready. There are two different concepts. And for sexual harassment, there are many examples, forms of harassment, penalties, and all of that. And not our policy. When we started the gender policy in UI, that was when one of our officers there, the management, also was interested in sexual harassment, and there was funding for that. And so we also went to, started gender sexual harassment policy. So I don't think it belongs to, so that when we finish with the gender policy, it's approved, then go on with it. Because sometimes gender policy, we also have dress sense, dress code. In some universities, they have dress code. While in some, in our we just say dress sense. When you are going out and you know that the body you have in the body showing you are not supposed to go out that way. So we just talk to students as to have a good dress sense, not a dress code. So we're talking about the opening of this thing and all that. There is a law in sexual harassment that whether I open my breast out or not, you don't have the right to touch it. Yes. In fact, in the legal, the Constitution of Nigeria, if you are a man, a wife, or a woman, or you are married, the two of you, and the other wants to have sex like that, and you are legally married, and the wife says no, and no is no. It should be with her consent. Listen to me. If he says no, and you continue, and it's by force, then it becomes. So we should take note of that. I think in all of these workshops, we should be ready to listen and ask questions so that we will be well guided. So sexual harassment could be many things. When you dress in the way that people want to, that's harassment. And it could be both from men or from female. So it's not actually, unfortunately, I hope you are listening, sir. So that we don't mix the two together. Yes, gender equity policy is different from sexual harassment policy. So we should separate the two. Then those who refuse to involve somebody with pregnancy, maybe that's their own mindset. Because in UI, but I say UI because that's my university. We are all females here. And we love the search work. You go to the field, you do all of that. So if you are pregnant, it does not mean you should not teach well. If you are pregnant, it does not mean you cannot match your sleeves. In fact, in my own kitchen, I can be working in the kitchen and of course, this solar is well, there's no light, there's solar. And the internet I am communicating, there is a network. One should not disturb the other. When I was dean, when I finished in the office, I came home, I cook for my husband. Yes, come to it's not my house yet, I go and put food there, no. And it's part of gender work. It shouldn't be because of your position now. The husband cannot even talk to you. The husband cannot relate with you. All of these things form of that gender. And then you cannot hide money. When you see such things, and that's inequality. So the definition of gender equity, equality, we should know it well. Equity means fairness. Whatever is good for the case, good for the gender. Both male and female should be given fair representation. Equality means when there's opportunity, both male and female, they have access to that opportunity. Maybe for grants, so that's equality. It's not as if nobody is higher than the other. But I tried to put the two together and I said, even in all the nations, you are expected to respect your husband. That's why I'm talking about gender in that issue. And then you know that in the olden days, in the villages, if you open yourself, even in some villages, you get there and wear trousers, they look at you as, in those days. And now, even the kind of areas you put on now, you go to the village and you put on that kind of area, they will run away. That is because of their fault, but because of these things are going into extinction. You know, so we should listen in gender workshops like this, ask questions, take home, and then try to, you know, disseminate it so that others in the society will be well informed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My comment is with regard to the question of maybe having more men or having more women. You know, like Madam responded that when she was at a particular stage in her career that there were more men. What actually happens is at times we have institutional reaction to correct imbalance. So over time, another imbalance will create. So we have to note that. That's why gender mainstreaming is not a one-time fix it all. So you fix it over time to your evolve. A particular gender may dominate, then gender mainstream comes in again to correct the imbalance. So it's a continuous thing that we must always, watch out for. So my dear sister, so that's what can happen, and that's what I go with what she said. The other one, which this talked about, doctor talked about, women spending their money on their body. That is very, very wrong. That's why our many children are having serious problems abroad. When now girls go to school, boys go to school. So if a man is working under a particular ministry and the wife is the manager of NNPC, she will say you are the man, you must pay children's school fees. It's collaboration. At home, a woman's money should not be hidden. I don't think anybody can say, woman, go and hide your money. The man will pay house rent, the man will pay school fees, the man, then he will have hypertension and die. And leave the woman as a giving. It profited nothing. It's collaboration, it's teamwork, it's love, it's practical love. It's practical love. So anybody say that I love the husband, you allow the husband to be very up and down. When she has the money to say, okay, let me pay the school fees of so and so, the man will be happy. You keep it yourself, then you want to buy food. That is very, very wrong. We now go to it was because of farming. Men had energy that time to till the ground and do everything. And women would do a small part of the job and go home to prepare food. Now we all go to school. And we should train our children to understand this so they will not have problems in their marriages. Because if the girl is working, and is just pocketing the money, and the man, if you see what they are going through abroad, it's not easier. That some are working in 2 continents. When after working here, when they go to bed in this continent, they start working on that continent when they are away. In order to meet up. And somebody will be holding money. It's collaboration. Let's start now by bringing up our children to understand that it's collaboration. Work together as a team of mentality. And that will make everybody happier. And less sicknesses and diseases. And the place of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We have come to the end of this seminar series. If there is anything we need to take home, I think you should take home gender equality, gender equity, gender inequality, gender mainstreaming, and gender sensitivity. So let's take all those 5 things. I'm sure we'll be the better for it. I'd like to invite Dr. Olaborita Adetola to close this meeting for us. Thank you.
Thank you, our MC for today. You are the only one calling your good name, Olaborita. But permit me to stay on the existing protocol. Our guest speakers have really stayed and they've come a long way to be with us for this program. And you will all agree with me, it has been an active participation, insightful contributions from both the gender, the men and the women. Our discussion have highlighted the importance of integrating gender perspectives into every aspect of our work. And we are now able to embrace gender equality. And by promoting fairness, we also enhance the overall effectiveness and sustainability of all the efforts. We have discussed strategies today, which are very essential in driving forward our commitment to creating an inclusive environment where everyone, regardless of gender, has equal access to opportunities and resources. Let's carry forward this great momentum and ensure that gender mainstreaming remains a core priority in our programs, policies, and day-to-day practices. As we leave this place, let's have it in mind that collaboration and accountability are very key in driving the gender mainstreaming. Together, we can break down barriers and foster a culture that values diversity and equity, benefiting not just individuals, but society as a whole. And you can also agree with me, this awareness has changed our paradigm. The way we see gender, the way we look at gender, and the way we perceive that gender is only about girls and women. Today we can see that it's more than that, and that we are able to key into it. So I want to really thank you, our speakers, and to everybody for your time, dedication, and passion. And I want us to move forward for continued progress in this drive of gender mainstreaming. Thank you.
We have been silently accused of not mainstreaming. The men folks are asked to speak. So I'd like to invite Mr. Komide Anabi.
Kindly on this existing protocol, I want to use this opportunity to say, I want to use this opportunity to thank the two speakers, or rather the three speakers, one in absentia. I want to say we have been enlightened. And aside from that, we are able to also see certain aspects that men need to play their role, and certain aspects where females and ladies need to play their role. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for taking out time to visit us and to speak extensively on this particular topic. I've actually accused some of my colleagues, the female colleagues, that we are talking about gender mainstreaming. I actually used to call it gender mainstreaming, that we really push the men aside and what I would. But actually, the two professors have really done justice to that, especially mine and that the vice was asking questions that aspect. And I'm of the opinion that if you are really saying about equality, gender equality, then if I'm bringing 50,000, maybe we should also bring out 50,000. But like the program of the corruption say, you see something, say something. Our advice to men, see something, keep quiet. So that you can talk. So these are opportunities to really bear our minds out. These are invitations to really bear our minds out and also to learn from the experts. So I want to use this opportunity to really thank you, two professors, for the discussion and for the enlightenment. So I'm also urging our men here to also realize that we have a lot of things to do as men. And the ladies too, we need your support in every aspect. So I want to really use this opportunity to thank you for taking that time to speak yourself. Thank you so much. I'm an Akiola extension. Thank you so much.
We have come to the end of this meeting, and I'm very sure you agree with me that we have all taken one thing or the other. We are all taking them home. We have learned one thing or the other. I particularly have learned what gender equity and gender equality is and is not. So let's be on our feet while we sing the national anthem and pledge our allegiance to the country, our nation, Nigeria. National pledge. Thank you very much.